Hello everybody and welcome to Uniko's 12 Days of Christmas Inspiration and Giveaways. Today is day 4 of the giveaways, and as you can see I'm back with another video. Today I thought I would make a card using one of the new stamp sets in our mid-century modern range. And this is the card that I'm making today, and this is the stamp set. I'll just apologise for my voice. I'm suffering a little bit with a cold. My body has finally succumbed to it. The boys have had it for a couple of weeks and I just couldn't hold up the fight anymore. Anyway, this is the set that I decided to use today. It's the mid-century modern wreath builder, and I don't think I actually showed in a video when this was released how this set kind of works, so that's why I decided to use it today. So on my card I've used both of the wreaths, the solid and the outline. One of the sentiments that I've fussy cut, I've added some berries which I've heat embossed, and I've added one of the bows as well. As you can see in the set, there's a variety of sentiments. It's got some holly leaves, 2 types of bow which you can layer up if you want to with the solid and the outline, and again with the holly berries as well. The wreath doesn't actually match up at all. It is designed to not overlap properly. So we'll get to making this card. So I'm going to use my Misty to stamp the wreath. Hopefully you'll be able to see this in view on the video. I went ahead and I cut a piece of white cardstock. It's 9.5 centimeters wide by 14 centimeters tall, because I'm leaving just a slight gap here just for my base card along the edge, just to add a little bit of interest where the wreath is going to overhang. So I'm just using my magnets just to secure there. Now I started off by stamping the solid part of the wreath first, and it doesn't really matter where you let it overhang or which way you turn it, and I just placed it just so it overhung slightly. Sorry for my little cough there. I hope my voice holds out. So again, I'm using Concord and 9th inks. Parsley is one of my favourite greens. Oops, dropping the ink pad there. Never mind. At least it wasn't on my card. And I'm just inking it up, and I'm going to flip it over and stamp down. I'll just move up slightly. Hopefully you can see this in the video. And it's stamped nice. I am going to repeat stamp it just so I know I've definitely got full coverage. Just wipe up some of the ink that I dropped there so I don't get it everywhere. Obviously the more times you do this, the shade does get a little bit darker, but it will lighten up as it dries. But I just do love using my stamping tool, and you can make sure that you get a nice impression in something that you're happy with as well. So I've got my trusty stamp chamois here, just cleaning this off quickly. And again, I will clean my Misty as well as I do this, so we don't get any ink where we don't want it. So I'm done with the solid. I'm just going to replace my card. And place my magnets back down, and then we're going to place the outline part of the wreath. And as you can see, it doesn't really line up at all. It's designed to be offset, be different, and add a little bit of quirkiness. And I think that's what mid-century modern brings. It's such a lovely design style, and it really appeals to me. I love the quirkiness of it. So this time I'm going to use Artichoke. It's another one of my favourite greens from their newer ink additions to their collection, and it's one that I will be getting next in a larger stamp ink pad format, because it's one that I do reach for a lot and I really like it. It's just a slightly darker shade, and I'm just gonna over stamp the lines here. So I'm gonna do it a couple of times just to make sure that you get a nice impression over the top. I didn't really pay too much attention to where I was placing the lines, but you could play around a little bit more if you wanted to. On my first card, I'll just bring that back into view here. I've let it overhang the green a little bit more, so you see a bit more of the white outline, where here it's covering a bit more of the green. So there's some different looks that you can get, and unless you keep your stamps in your stamp positioner, you're going to get a slightly different look every time. And I think that's nice for the handmade look. So as you might know, the mid-century modern collection is one of our most popular, and it's one of my favourites for sure. And I'm slowly adding to it with different designs. I have some more up my sleeve that I will be adding most probably in February for our 12th birthday. So we're on day 4 of the giveaways. These weeks are absolutely flying by. Thank you for all the love and all the sharing on social media, all the comments you've left on my videos. I know I haven't replied to a couple of them, so I will get round to replying to them this weekend, as I'm not at any shows this weekend. Anyway, so I'll just get back to my card and let you know what I'm doing while I talk. So next I'm going to stamp the bow here. I'm going for the solid bow. I want some nice red impact just to draw your eye. Again, you could do this with your stamping tool, but I decided it's quite an easy stamp, and I'm using a fairly juicy inked ink pad, so I'm just going to do it by hand. Yeah, so I've got lots of things planned for the mid-century modern range. So today's giveaway is going to be a mid-century modern goodie bag of some of my favourites, and if the winner the winner will be selected who follows the instructions of what to comment with today on today's video, and that is to tell me which is your favourite stamp set or stencil, because I am aware there are stencils in the collection, and tell me which is your favourite. That's all I want to know to be in the chance of today's giveaway. And you will, if you don't already own your favourite, you will win that one, along with some of my favourites that I will include. And if I happen to have by then any samples of the new stuff, I will also include them, so you get a sneaky preview. So this is an exciting prize, and definitely one of my favourites. So yes, I would like to know which is your favourite product, if you can choose one. Maybe you want to give me your top 3. Just drop it in the comments on this video, or even on the post, if you want to, or across social media for extra chances to win. And as always, I'd love you to subscribe to our channel, my channel, and tell your friends about it. Thank you to those who have. I'm slowly growing in subscribers, which is lovely, and it gives me the motivation to come here and do more videos like I am today. I was getting a little bit worried because the weather has been a little bit dismal today, absolutely pouring down with rain, but the sun has come out now and given me the nice light that I would like to create in, and motivation. So here I'm just fussy cutting the bow out, leaving a small white border. It's a fairly easy bow to cut out, it's not too difficult. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of my temporary adhesive just while I stamp these berries on my card. So I'm just placing this here, and then I want to roughly gauge where I'm going to stick the bow. I did go ahead before I came on video today and stamp my sentiment and actually fussy cut it out, if you have a look here, because it did take me a little while to cut out the sentiment. And I know not everybody likes fussy cutting, so dies are on the list. It's something that I will add. It's just taking me a little bit longer. Being a small business, I have to decide what I'm going to bring out next, and it's always a bit of a juggling act, to be honest. And maybe I procrastinate a little bit as well, but so that's how I'm going to have my sentiment. So I've already cut it out, and I have put my foam adhesive on the back because I've only got tiny little squares of foam adhesive. So I'm going to stamp these berries here and just gold emboss them just to be a little bit different. So I'm using my anti-static here, as I have been putting my fingers all over my card. And I'm going to use, which is quite unusual, but it can be done, I'm using the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink here to stamp my berries and then heat emboss. You don't need to be super quick, but you do need to be fairly quick because it is a bit of a quicker drying ink. But it can be done. So I'm just stamping my berries here. And I'm going to overhang this one slightly at the bottom, sort of forming a triangle here, and then roughly around about here. Put my lid back on my ink so I don't drop it. And I'm just using the Wow embossing powder here. It's the metallic gold rich regular. As you can see, I've used it a lot. There isn't a huge amount left, but there's enough. It's surprising how far embossing powder goes, to be honest. And I'm just bringing it on these dots. You could use a gold pigment ink here if you wanted it to be have a little bit more of a metallic effect, but these stamped in black and then embossed in gold came out just as lovely. I'm just tipping the excess into my pot so I don't spill it anywhere. I don't know if you're the same. When you're not feeling 100%, things go a little bit wonky. So I've just got my heat tool here. I'm just heating it up slightly off camera, apologies for the noise. And then I'm just gonna heat up these berries and make them shine. There's something still magical about heat embossing. Every time you do it, watching it turn, it's still got that wow effect to me. We were talking about this at the weekend at the Uniko stamping retreat, at how magical heat embossing is. Obviously, heat embossing does warp your card just a little bit, but it's nothing to be worried about, because I am actually going to adhere it to my piece of artichoke card, my base layer, and this one measures 10.5 by 14, so it'll line up and leave this green edge along the right hand side. So I'm going to use double-sided tape. Again, it's just down to a preference thing. I prefer double-sided tape over wet glue. And I'm just putting it along the edges here. And I think I use double-sided because I don't have to wait for anything to dry. Sometimes wet glue can take a little bit longer and things slide about a little bit, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I always use double-sided. So as I was saying, I've got some more designs prepped and actually planned for the mid-century modern collection. Always super excited to add to this. I hope you will be, and you are as excited to hear this. I hope you love the collection as much as I do. I've just had today a restock of a couple of our newer stencil designs, the mod background builders, so I will be adding those to the website this afternoon, and hopefully it'll inspire me to use them a little bit more as well. So I'm actually going to add my sentiment next, and I'm just going to peel off the little squares of foam adhesive. These are absolutely tiny, but they are kind of useful for these smaller sentiments and things that I've fussy cut out here. I have in the past cut down bits of foam adhesive to roughly this size, but usually I use bigger ones in the larger spaces, so it's not as fiddly. But even though I like clean and simple, things don't always take less time. Sometimes clean and simple can be just as lengthy as doing mixed media, but yeah, that's another story, I suppose. So I'm just adding the happy at the top, and then I'm gonna add the Christmas. I could have chosen Merry or Jolly Christmas, or Christmas wishes. There's quite a few sentiment options in this set and combinations, and this super fun font that I was inspired to design. So yes, please, I'd love to know which is your favourite. It might be one of the original background blocks that came out, or the mid-century modern florals, or it could be some of the newer sets that have come out since. We've got the frames, we've got the cat, the perfect day, and we've got our most recent Christmas additions to the collection. I know it was something in the poll that people wanted to see more of, so I have got some more video ideas to share. So this probably won't be the only one during the 12 days of inspiration and giveaways. I was just trying to think of something else that I could ask you in the comments, and telling me your favourite is the one. So hopefully by now you know the drill. And as I say, I am a little bit behind on replying to comments, but I keep a record of them when I get notified, so I haven't completely forgotten you. It's just been a couple of busy few weeks for me here in the studio. We had the Lincoln show, which was absolutely fantastic, and then last Sunday, we had the Uniko stamping retreat, which was just as lovely. I love spending time with everybody and chatting and crafting away. It was lovely. I'm working on the next date, which will probably be February, to tie it in with our 12th birthday. I always like to make Uniko's birthday celebrations something memorable and exciting, so I hope to tie in another stamping retreat for that as well. I forgot to take, I was too busy chatting, that's my problem, to take many photographs, but the venue was lovely. Really nice venue here in the northeast. The room was light and airy. It had disabled access. It had a kitchen with everything we needed, and yeah, it was just really nice. And if the one in February becomes really popular, there's a bigger room as well that we could also move into, so there's potential for a bigger event as well, which is good. So I've just stuck my bow on here, and then I'm gonna embellish with one of these enamel dots. These are the Concord and 9th, and I've chosen one. This is cranberry, just so it stands out a little bit, really. And it just adds the finishing touch to the bow. And that is my finished card today. This stamp set is on Pinterest. That's another thing I need to catch up on, is adding stuff to Pinterest. But I will put it on Instagram later as well. And yeah, feel free to comment on any of the socials, Facebook, Instagram. If you find this card on Pinterest later, I will be blogging as well, so you can leave a comment there, so you have lots of chances to win and tell me. And maybe you can't decide which is your favourite mid-century modern, so give me your top 3, top 5, whatever. I'd love to know. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this series. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. And hopefully next week my voice will be a little bit better and I'll be feeling more myself. Don't forget, obviously, I will be in Bedford next weekend. I'll be travelling down on Saturday. And the Craftorama, Stamporama show is on the Sunday, the 22nd. And you can get your tickets online. I will hopefully share some links today. Anyway, have a wonderful Friday, and thank you for joining me today. See you soon.